Rhapsody on a lost time, fabric flows from chaos supply.
Hi and welcome to this week's vlog. It is Tuesday today and it is in the afternoon. I have had a very quiet start to today. I've just been sitting and crocheting on the couch. Since I was unwell, my fatigue has been extra strong, even though I'm feeling well now. The virus or flu, whatever it was, has passed. It has flared up some of my chronic fatigue symptoms a little bit more than usual. So I've had a very quiet start to today. My first job I want to do today is get my desk cleaned off because it's become a huge mess. I have been working at it and just like dumping things and leaving them there, which is a really bad habit. And I try to put things away, but I guess feeling unwell, and fighting my natural nature to just dump, I did let it get a huge mess. So I want to start by doing that. I need to film the market recap hopefully today as well so that I can pop that up and share those results with you all. And then I want to get into some prepping for my next market, which will have more of an Easter theme to it. So yeah, that's what I've got planned for today, and we'll see how I go with all those things. Okay, first job up today is cleaning up this desk. It's a huge mess, and before I start anything, I just want to get this clean. Okay, not perfect, but much better. Still have some putting away of some things to do out of screen, but mostly done. Okay, checking back in. I've just finished filming the recap. Hopefully I have covered all the things that I need to cover. We'll see. I might have to do a little bit of editing and refilm anything if I've left anything out. We'll see how I go. It's my first time doing a recap, so yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I've got my blanket up behind me here. I just thought that might be a nice little drop for today. I did weave in all the ends of it, so I'm really proud about that. And now I do need to block it, but I think I might invest in some of the proper I don't even know what you call them, like pins that have like the multiple prongs on them for blocking, because there are some sections that are quite thin, and I feel like when I do stretch them out a bit, it would be more helpful to have those wider prongs going through. So I think I might try and order some off Amazon. I've looked on Spotlight and there's a kind of a little bit pricey compared to what I might be able to find on Amazon. So I am going to have a look at that, and maybe even on Temu, even though I don't like to buy much off Temu because they're not really that great. But I think probably Amazon is probably equally unethical as well, but limited choices, so I'll see how I go. So yeah, but today it's hanging up just looking pretty. I wanted to show you some of the Easter patterns that I'm going to be hopefully working on this week. So while I've been unwell, I have been making up a little bit of a sample and trying out some patterns to find some things that I like. And I have a few things to show you. So this one So this is by Croutons Crochet, and it is the bunny peas, and it's a new release one, and I thought this is quite cute, and I thought maybe it might even appeal to like teenagers or adults because of the cuteness of them. And I'm going to make a little signs that can go with this one saying Hoppy Easter, I think I was going to put, and yeah, just some little punny type sayings to go with them as well, to make them more appealing. So I'm going to be working on those one day. This is what I hope to work on today. It's just a little chick pattern that I made. I just thought this might be a quick, easy little make that people might like. I used to love the little tiny fluffy chicks on little stilt-like legs, and this is what this kind of reminds me of. But I'll be able to keep the price of those quite low because they really don't have a lot. They're just the one colour, a couple of bobble stitches and some embroidering for the eyes and beak. So that will be a nice little price point for people. And then this one, I cannot remember the name of this pattern. I have embroidered the eyes on it, but it's a little bit tricky just with the way those stitches have gone. I've made that other eye a little bit crooked, but anyway, this is also going to be a really low price point type item. This will use up a ton of my scraps in my blanket yarn. I have a whole heap of blanket yarn to use up from previous markets, so I plan to do that, make these little bunnies in lots of different colours and keep the price of those quite low. And then we have this little one. So this one actually isn't, let me put them properly. So it comes in like a little egg, and you lift it up and there's a little bunny inside, and it comes out, and it has a little white tail. I added the little bow to it because I kind of like that, but yeah, you don't have to do that. That pink bow on camera looks so bright. Anyway, that pattern is by Cluck and Buzz, and it's one of her latest releases. And so I've bought that one to support her because she's had me on 2 of her other pattern tests. So I do like to try and support pattern designers by also buying their patterns, not just going in their pattern tests. If you're able to support little designers, it's it goes a really long way for them to be selling patterns. So yeah, but I also have some free patterns that I'm going to be trying as well. I found a few YouTube tutorials, so there's some great free patterns on YouTube, and I think there's one off Instagram that I was interested in, but yeah, so we'll see. And I had a few other ones that I haven't actually made yet because they're bigger items, so I won't be pre-testing them. I'll just be making them. Yeah, so that's what we've got ahead of us in our market prepping, but because I've been doing all these other jobs today, I think I will just work on the little chickens today and see how I go with those. Okay, it's getting a little bit later, as you can tell by the light that I have. It's not the best, but I'm going to start working on the chickens and we'll see how many we get done. much later now, and I've made a few of these little chickies up. They haven't got their faces on them. I'll do them at a later date. And I have this much yarn left, and I'm wondering, can I get one out of this last little bit, or even two? So I'm going to have a little game of yarn chicken. So wish me luck, and let me know in the comments if you guess whether I can get one or two or none out of this little bit of yarn left. So we'll see. Okay. Oops, let's try again. Okay, I have 3 more rounds to go, and I've got this little bit left, and we'll see how we go. I feel like I think we're going to make it, but we'll see. Big overestimation by me. I have this much to do the last round, and it is not enough, so I lost. Definitely not enough to do 2. What was I thinking? I couldn't even get one finished. So yeah, my yarn chicken radar is still needing some fine tuning. I still have no clue how much it takes to finish something, or estimate how much, but anyway, I have this much to go, so I'm going to attach another piece, and we'll finish it off, because there really is only like 1 round of increases plus sewing it in, but there definitely, I did try, and there definitely isn't enough there to get that done. So yeah, this time yarn chicken I lost, but I will get the next one, hopefully. Happy Wednesday. I just thought I'd do a little check-in. Did you make a guess on how many chickens I could make? I got 8 made, so I'm quite happy with that. And I also tried one in the bigger yarn, and I kind of really like this guy. Look, with little rosy cheeks. So these are such a quick little makeup for me, so I'm really glad to be making these, because it gives me a bit of stock. I think this one like took 15 minutes or something. Obviously not with the eyes embroidered, that will take a little bit longer, but the eyes aren't really much time to do. Yeah, so really quick little make. My other chickens that I normally have, here's one here that doesn't have any eyes on it yet either. These ones are really quite popular at the market, so I think these ones will be popular too, because they're kind of a little bit cuter. I don't know, they both have their own qualities that make them cute, I think. I think people really love the little tuft of fluff on top of these ones, but anyway, we'll see how they go. There'll be plenty for everyone, so that's great, and I'll be making some more of these bigger ones because they are super cute, and it'll be nice to have some different price points there for people. Don't mind this one. His eye is a little bit of a sleepy, crooked eye, but he was the first attempt, so got much better with this one. Okay, so yeah, I'll leave it there. It's just been one of those days today where we've had a bit of a stormy weather, we've lost power. So it's been a funny old day, and haven't really done a lot of crocheting as in market prep. I did work on a beanie earlier, but yeah, I'm going to get into some market prep and hopefully make a few more of these up. So we'll see how I go, and I'll check in with you tomorrow and show you what I've made. Hi, it's Friday. I didn't check in yesterday, so I'll fill you in on the things that I got done yesterday. So last we spoke, I was working on these little chickens. So I managed to get a few more of these done. So I've got 7 done now, and I did try one with a little tail on the back. I don't know if you can see that very well. But I'm kind of thinking I will just stick with the wings. I think they're cute, like just as a little blob. So I decided that, yeah, I'm not going to do any more with the tail, even though that's kind of cute too. But yeah, I think just doing them like this, I like that better. Just a little round body. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like them better with the tail or without? Yeah, I'm still a bit undecided, but I think I'm going to go without the tail for those. Yeah, so 7 of them. Great start for the bigger sized chicks. And then I found a pattern on YouTube, a YouTube tutorial, sorry, not a pattern, for some bigger sized chicks, and they are so cute. How cute is he? Look at it. So cute. No tail on them either. And I really like that they've just got like a little embroidered feet. So, yeah, I'll put the little baby chick beside them so you can get like a little bit of a size reference. So I think they're so cute. They actually work up. Buddha's barking. Sorry about that. Okay, dog was barking. So they're so cute. And after I did this one, I thought, oh, I really need to have like an embroidered eye one. So I made another one. Look at that, so adorable. So I'm going to be making more of these. I don't know, they don't take a great deal of time to work up. I'm not exactly sure. I might have to time how long they take so that I can find a good price for them. But they're not particularly difficult to work up. Sorry, the dog is just sitting down on his bed. If you heard that little bit of rustling. Yeah, so I really love these. I think it's so great, and to have a free pattern available is awesome. So I will put the a screenshot of the tutorial here, and I'll put the handle there as well of the person. I can't think off the top of my head the name for that. Yeah, so that you can find them too. I haven't yet been able to link things in my description yet, but hopefully soon that will be available to me to do. I think I need to do something to, I don't know, to like verify something, or I'm not sure why I can't do it yet, but I will eventually get that sorted out so that I can pop links in there as well. I also started to work on a Tassie tiger. So you know, I had an order, well, you may not know if you haven't watched my market recap, but I have an order for a Tassie tiger, and I've never made one before. I did find a pattern on Etsy that I bought, and they'd made it in a worsted weight yarn. So I'm hoping that it will work up okay in a chenille. So this is what I've got so far. So that's the front. Then we're just kind of starting on the back part. So I'm kind of just working on that little bit at a time over the next few days. Hopefully it will go okay. I'm a bit worried about doing the legs and the ears because they'll be small and fiddly, and also of kind of working the eyes on because it's really spirally there, so it's going to be really hard to get the eyes embroidered to match up. So I'm also wondering if I should unstuff it and try and put some safety eyes in. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, so we'll just see how we go. And I'll give you updates on that one. I'm just going to be doing that bit by bit. I've got it in a special little container, and I can just work on it as I'm watching TV. Yeah, so today I really don't know what I feel like doing today. I kind of feel like I might do another chick, and then after I've done that I might switch to maybe doing the bun peas, which is what I intended to do the other day but got distracted, because working with this sort of blanket yarn, it does take more of a toll on your hands. It's not as flexible, and you do have to use the muscles in your hands a lot more to work it, I think. And sometimes my hands do get a little bit sore after working with that. So I may just do one of these today and then switch to some other yarn. We'll see how we go. I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for today, but I am going to get a little bit done, hopefully. Okay, hopefully I can check in with you a bit later with some completed project of some type. Hi, it's been a few days since I last checked in. I've had a fair bit of fatigue and other symptoms from my fibro and chronic fatigues. I've just been having a bit of a flare. So I have been trying to take it easy, so I haven't been checking in. But I thought today I would jump on and check in with you all and let you know how I'm going with some of those things that I started, and sort of round out this week's vlog. So last I checked in, I wasn't sure what I was going to tackle for the afternoon. I was in the mood to do some crocheting, but I didn't know what. So I ended up making 2 more of these chickens. But I haven't put them together yet. I've just made them, stuffed the bodies, and haven't really sewed them together yet. And I found another tutorial for an Easter bunny. So this is the little Easter bunny that I've made up. Look at that little white tail. I can't remember the creator for that, but I will again stick the creator's name up here so that you can find it. This was really great little tutorial, really easy. The only bit that you have to sew are the sewing the ears on. When I did this one, I realized that I thought popcorn stitch and bobble stitch were the same thing, and I'm pretty sure I've had a pattern before that's called for a popcorn stitch, and I just thought it was the same as a bobble and did a bobble. You know, like I thought it was like how some people say magic ring and some people say magic circle. I thought it was one of those things where people just like call it a different name, but it's the same thing. Well, no, it's not. So that was really great to learn that on the tutorial. Actually, popcorn stitch is different. So I did popcorn stitches on here. So yeah, that was a great little takeaway from that pattern for me, is that they're not the same thing. They might look like, when you're just seeing it like this, it's probably harder to tell. Maybe experienced crocheters will know straight away that that's a popcorn stitch, not a bobble. But for me, I just thought they were the same. Yeah. And I forgot to say, if you do the chick tutorial, she hot glues on her little wings. I didn't do that. I sewed them on. So, and it doesn't take long. And yeah. So if you're not a fan of hot glue, you don't have to do that. You can just sew them on like I have as well. And she says that on there. She just does that to be quick. But yeah, really easy to sew on as well. So the other day I filmed myself using these scrubbies for the first time, and I will insert the footage here. But I lost the beginning part of the footage where I showed you that the first scrubby, this smaller scrubby, I used in this cleanser. So I used the cleanser to remove the makeup with the scrubby. And then the second one I just used with water. So I'll put that footage in. So you got a lot of it off. I'm going to try the other one with just wetting it and just giving it a wipe and seeing how that feels texture wise. So just hold on and I'll go and get some water on that. Yeah, I feel like this one feels a lot nicer with the water on it. Definitely a lot softer. Yeah, I think I like it better like that. It also was a bigger sized, look how gross it still is, getting all those last bits off. I used this one, this big one has a looser tension to it. That's not what the pattern recommended, but I did want to make one with a bit looser tension because I thought it felt softer that way. Okay, well, they worked okay. I think I would like to try them in some different materials and see if I can get some softer ones and see how they wash up as well. But yeah, so far did an okay job, I think. So I just gave them a little bit of a wash in the sink to see if I could get the marks out. So that's one side, and then that's the other. So it's a bit hard to tell in this light. That one still has quite a lot of makeup still on it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the rest of that comes out in the washing machine when I stick it in. That one came up really good. That was already wet and was just taking off the very last remains after the cleanser. So yeah, I'm really happy with that one. And I guess with this one, if I was going to use it mostly on my makeup with the cleansing white, it might be better off having like a coloured centre rather than a white one, because it will, yeah, we'll see how they wash in the washing machine, but it might stay discoloured from that makeup, so it'll be interesting to see. I'll update you. But what I wanted to show you as well was how they came up after I washed them. So this is the one with the water. So that's really come up nice and clean. And that's the one that we used first of all to get the majority of the makeup off. And it's come out fairly clean. It's a little bit discoloured there on the back. And I did spray it with some stain remover to get that off as well. But there's still a little bit of residue, but not too bad. Just not as good as the one that had just water. So yeah, but it's made me want to try some different patterns for scrubbies and see how they go when I use them. So that will be fun to do in the future. So I've actually been making a fair few beanies as well. I saw that they do a beanie of the week on Coco's Crochet with Litza, and I thought, oh, that would be fun to try, because on my bingo list this year was have make a beanie. So I actually have made beanies, couple of beanies before. That I made a bluey beanie for my nieces when I first started crocheting, but that's the only beanies I've made. So for me, I'm was very much wanting to make a proper adult beanie this year, and that was on my bingo list. So I started the first week, and I think this one was called No Rhyme or Reason Beanie. So this beanie didn't go to plan. It's actually really lovely. I love all the stitching on it, but I wanted to like use up some yarn that I already had. So I used some milk cotton from Patty and Bango's place. So I used this milk cotton from Patty and Van Gogh's place. Now this yarn was a accidental buy. Well, it wasn't accidental. I bought this yarn thinking it was cotton. I bought this yarn because I wanted to make some coasters and I needed cotton to make the coasters. And I thought, oh, this is pretty colours. I'll get this yarn. Now, when it arrived, the label said acrylic. And I was a bit confused because it's called milk cotton. And I contacted the shop and they're like, yeah, milk cotton is acrylic. Even though it's called milk cotton, it's not cotton. I was like, oh, but it's lovely and soft, and it was my mistake. I could have probably sent it back, but I was like, no, I'm going to keep it because it's lovely and soft. And I've been looking for something to make with it, and I thought, oh, maybe a beanie would be great. So when I was making this beanie, it actually worked okay, but it does have a lot of sort of like splitting in the beanie. Like little, there's a couple here like of little strands that have kind of come out and things. So that's a little bit tricky with working with it, but the softness of it, I think, makes that worth it in a way. Yeah. And I think maybe with practice I could get better at it. So yeah, I definitely love this. I think it's so soft and lovely for an acrylic. Really love it. I can see why people like to make clothing out of it because it would be such a nice texture on your skin. So when I started the beanie, the part that we had to work on first was like obviously the top part, and the instructions said like, you know, so many rounds, and if you got to that many rounds and it was like not fitting properly on your head, to add another round, which I did, but it ended up with the beanie being too big. So let's just, so okay, it is a lot bigger than the actual original one, because so we can mark this as like a fail, okay? But it wasn't, some of the, it got too big, and I didn't realize I'd already started working it, and then I realized, okay, it's going to be too big. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll make it into a slouch beanie. So I just kept working it, and then at the end I added extra length onto it, thinking maybe it'll be a slouch beanie for me. But it just didn't work. It's just big. It doesn't look slouchy enough to be a slouch beanie, probably because it's like thick yarn, and yeah. But I like the yarn, so maybe I might try. I'm actually not someone who frogs a lot of stuff. I've never frogged a project that's already been completed, so that might be a little interesting job for me to try and work out if I can actually frog this and salvage all this yarn. So yeah, because I do like it. And also it's a terrible color for me to have near my face. Like, bright colors for me just don't really work super well. I mean, yeah, it's a fail. But it's lovely and comfy, and the yarn is beautiful, and it was fun to make, and to like the texture of the beanie is really nice. So it might be a beanie that I give another shot. I think instead of adding the extra row, I would actually like size up my hook instead and see if I could get like still keep to the amount of rounds but have that kind of bigger hook size to get that extra width in it, hopefully. But yeah, it was a fail. And then the next week, I can't remember what the next beanie is called. I think it's called the country beanie. Yeah, I think it's the country beanie. I'll put the name of the beanie up there anyway. And I made this one out of spot saver yarn, and I just love this one. I haven't been organised enough to actually send in a photo of my work. But yeah. So you can see this one fits a lot better. And I feel like the orange colour is a little bit better on me than the purple. Yeah, and I really liked this. So then I went on a beanie making frenzy and tried some other yarn. So the Spot Saver, I loved how that worked up. Really easily to work, makes a nice thick beanie, but it isn't the softest yarn, but it's still quite nice. This one is made from Colour Theory yarn, which is one of my favourite yarns at the moment. It's in the colour Moonbeam. And this is just so super soft. It's so nice. It worked up a tiny bit smaller. And it still fits okay. And yeah, the softness in this is lovely. You can probably see it's probably stretching a little bit more than the other one did. Yeah, really love this one. Love the yarn it's in, and want to make more of those. I want to stock up on this yarn when Spotlight comes into sales again, because it's such a lovely acrylic yarn. Yeah, it's hard to find, you know, something as soft as this. The Moo Moose was probably equally soft, but much thicker in its strand than this one is. And then I made another little beanie because I wanted to see what this, I've got this acrylic yarn. It's Portercraft Premium, it's Portercraft Premium Acrylic Yarn. And I got it from like kind of like the reject shop. It's a shop in Tassie called Shiploads, and it's like a dollar store type place. And it is sort of like a little bit softer than the Marvel yarn is at Spotlight. And so that worked up pretty good as well. I feel like nothing is going to be quite as nice as this this yarn is, the Colour Theory yarn. So it's really hard once you've worked with that Colour Theory yarn to be happy. But this one worked up into a smaller size, which I think I'll just donate. Oops. Okay, so I still have an end to weave in there. I didn't realise I hadn't done that. Yeah, so I think that's a cute little kid's beanie. I think I might, this will be a fun pattern to use for making beanies to donate, because I really enjoyed working this up, and I feel like it worked up really quick. So had so much fun making those. Can't wait to make more. I feel like these Colour Theory beanies, if I can get the yarn on sale, that I would like to make some of these either for my consignment or for markets. Yeah, I think it'd be cute with like a little fur pom-pom on top if I can get some of those. So yeah, really happy with those, and it's made me want to try more beanie patterns. I love how quick they work up, and yeah, it's a fun when you can get something like this where you are just doing a repeat pattern as well. It's easy to just hang out at the TV and do that and still get that gorgeous like texture on it. This one, because there were lots of different stitches in it, it wasn't quite like, I had to concentrate a little bit more of what was coming next. And yeah, it's still nice. Obviously my one turned out giant enormous and was a fail, but the pattern was nice and the textures in the stitches are lovely. But yeah, that's a little bit harder to zone out while you're doing, whereas this one can easily zone out and be working on it. So loved that beanie pattern. And something I've been working on a lot the last few days has been this blanket. So that's a new make for me, and I love the colours. It's just using some Marvel yarn from Spotlight. I've got like a little star stitch down here with some double crochets, and then this is like a little cross stitch, a bobble, not a popcorn. And then the alpine stitch here, and another bobble, and I can't remember what that one's called. But anyway, have a little look. It's I just am experimenting with some different textures. It's just going to be some of the stitches that I liked from the previous blanket that I've made. I'm just using those and just putting them in any old order, but just, yeah, practicing the ones that I liked, trying to choose some that don't have different, that have similar widths, so I don't have that big issue at the end with the blanket going in and out. So yeah, the blanket has been a little bit of a hyper focus for me at the moment. It's kind of, I just really want to be working on it all the time, even though I've got other jobs to do. I'm just really enjoying that, and yeah, I need to stop and do the things that I actually need to be doing, but it's kind of just keeps pulling me to it. I'm having fun doing it. Yeah. So I have a bit of an update on the consignment space. I actually have sold some things finally. I was starting to think that I wasn't going to sell anything, and I was getting a little bit worried, thinking I'd made a big mistake by going into it. But thankfully some things have started to move now. So I've actually covered some of my space rental fee, so for the next month, that's good, and I'm still in profit some money from what's been sold, and I will have some space to send a couple of new things in, so I'll be able to send a couple of little Easter things to start with until some more things sell, and then I can add some more in. But yeah, it's still not super profitable for me at the moment, but at least I'm not in the red with it. I would like to see things move more quickly. Being that it's a new retail space, I guess as well, it's building up their own brand in the community and bringing people into the shop, and also retail being slower at the beginning of the year. So I will judge it on a bigger span of time. But so far, it's not. I wouldn't say, if I just went off this last 2 months, I wouldn't stick with it past the 6 months. But I don't want to judge just off these 2 months. I want to, I'm on a 6 month contract, so I will get to see over a period of time how it performs, which will be good, especially as it's a new space, giving them time to actually build up their brand and name in the community before I actually make a judgment of whether I continue on there. But just really thankful to have sold some spaces and be covering some of that rent for the shelves that I'm using. So that's awesome. And a relief for me, such a relief. I think I get used to the markets, and like things sell quite quickly there. I've never really had a market where I haven't sold anything. So having my stuff sitting on the shelves for a few weeks and not actually selling anything was a little bit weird for me, and a little bit scary. But thankfully things are starting to move, so I'm really excited about that. I'm still not sure what sorts of things will sell best in that space, but what sold this time was the astronaut, one of the little turtles, and the little monkey. So those things I know at least have some interest, and we'll see going forward what else sells. But yeah, we'll hopefully send over some Easter makes next week. Future me here, just to point out that in that last kind of section of the vlog, I can really tell that my brain fog is really bad in that, and that was to do with how I was feeling at the time. So please forgive all those words that are mixed up within that. I obviously do the best I can on each given day, depending on how I'm feeling. And sometimes I don't even realize I'm saying the wrong word because my brain just crosses wires. So please bear with me and understand that is part of my disability. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. Let me know what you've been working on during this time down in the comments. Have you been doing a little bit of Easter prepping yourself? We still have a ton more of that to go, so we'll continue that in next week's vlog. And bye for now. If you could, give this a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. That would really help me grow this channel and I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, happy crocheting.